Hi, this is Paul from Paulus in South Africa. We're going to be upgrading a little Banax Syren reel today. Just received my orange seal Boca bearings. It's a ABET7 bearing that we're going to put in this little reel to make this nice little reel a top class reel. Right here we have the little reel that we're going to be upgrading today. This is a little Banax Syren 11 ball bearing reel. Quite a nice little reel, but I'm sure we can make it better by upgrading it with the new Boca orange seal bearings, the ABET7. All the tools that we need is here. I have little earbud to clean some of the bearings. Any little sharp object that you can use to take the circlip from the bearing. So right, let's start with the removing the side cover, because the first bearing that we're going to be replacing is the side cover bearing. And as we can see, we have a little circlip keeping the bearing in place that we need to take out. Now first you want to put your thumb on the one side of the little circlip, because you don't want it to jump all over the place. So just lift the little circlip from its seat. Right, we remove the little circlip. Let's put that to the side, and let's take our little earbud and we wiggle the bearing out of position, and there we have the bearing. Now let's take our earbud and let's clean out where the bearing seats. And now let's go and take out our brand new Boca bearing, and we want to replace this with a new ABET7 orange seal bearing. There's the little bearing, so let's slide that into position, push it down with the earbud, and now we replace the little circlip. Move the one side in, our circlip is replaced. So here we have the old bearing replaced by the brand new orange seal Boca bearing. Right, so next let's put the reel cover to the side, remove the little spool. The next bearing we're going to be replacing is the tension knob bearing. So let's take the tension knob off totally. There, we remove this, and as we can see here, there's actually no circlip inserted on this specific model of reel. The simplest way to take this little bearing out, take again your earbud, push it on from the other side, and there you remove your little bearing. There's the old bearing that we'll be replacing. So what we do again, take a little earbud, clean out the recess properly. We take out our new little Boca orange seal bearing. Let's pop that into place, and then we put the tension knob back. And there we've replaced the tension knob bearing. So let's put that to the side. So the only other bearing that we have to remove is this little spool bearing sitting actually on the spool of the little Banax reel. And as we can see here, this gets kept in place with a little pin through. So the first thing that we need to do is actually remove this little pin so that we can slide the bearing off. Now from the Boca bearing website, you can actually buy a nice tool that you can remove it with. But at the moment I don't possess such a tool, so I'm just going to take a normal long nose pliers. Right, so let's remove this little pin that keeps the bearing in place. And what we do is, I'm going to take my little long nose pliers, push it, and I'll just take it and wiggle it out. Just be careful that you don't damage your shaft of your bearing. Right, let's now take the bearing, slide it out. There we have the old bearing. So let's replace it with the new orange shield Boca bearing slide nicely in place. And now we can put our little pin back to ensure that we keep the bearing nicely in place. And again, very carefully take your little long nose pliers, and like I've mentioned, the tool from Boca Bearings works actually very nice for this specific task. But let's work slowly and push it into position. Right there, we've positioned the little pin correctly, nice in the center. Here we have the old bearings that came out of the reel. All the new Boca bearings is fitted, so let's reassemble the reel. Slide the spool back in position. Let's put the end cover back on. Loosen the drag on the tension knob, and let's see how this reel spins. As we can see, a tremendous improvement on the time the reel spin. The bearing is a bit loud because you don't have any oil on it. You can add a wee bit of oil on it, but I prefer to keep it as it's ceramic bearings. It's very nice, and now we see we've taken a nice little Banax Syren reel, upgraded it, ready to fish. And if my previous test with Boca bearings is anything to go by, I should get about a 22 to 25% increase in casting distance.